Good morning, and thank you for coming along to our public open day, which has to take place online due to the coronavirus restrictions. This public consultation is about public engagement, and we would like to hear your views on our site at Mill Road, Allanton. You will have an opportunity to formally object if you wish once the planning application is lodged to North Lanarkshire Council. Views and comments can be submitted to allanton@tmcplanning.co.uk or by calling 50 939 889, or you can submit by mail to TMC Planning Limited, 37 Dyfrig Street, Shotts, ML7 4DQ. Please note that objections are not required at this moment. If you wish to object, that will be done at a later stage through North Lanarkshire Council once we submit a planning application. Our site is located to the west of Mill Road and just north of Allanton Road as you leave the village heading towards Bonko on the old A71 road. This map identifies it in more detail. You will see that it lies to the west of Mill Road. It covers approximately 6.54 acres or 2.64 hectares, and it's located between the back of the houses in Mill Road and the South Calder River to the west. The next few slides take us through some of the visual history of the site, from old maps and aerial photography. The first map shows Allanton as it was in 1899, and you will notice a distinct lack of any buildings in or around this site. By 1940, a sewerage works had been developed on the site, as can be seen by the slide. We move on to 1983, and as can be seen by the map, the sewerage works is no longer in existence, although there is parts of the sewerage works left on site. This aerial image from 2010 shows empty fields that's not really been used for anything, starting to get small shrubs growing in the vicinity of the site. Then we move to 2020. The aerial image shows not much difference from 2010. This is mainly due to the poor quality of the soil. Nothing is really taking root apart from some small shrubs and some poor grass. The remediation costs to return this land to farmland would far outweigh the final value of the land. So some people will be asking what made us look at Allanton for a place to build houses. I hope I can explain this to you in the next couple of slides. Those people who live in the village may have noticed that the population is gradually getting older. This is not good for the long-term sustainability of the community. Small communities have to grow to counteract the ageing population. The estimates show that the population of Allanton has reduced by 6.6% or 80 people. 80 people may not sound a lot when you have a small community of only around 1,140. 80 people is quite a lot. You'll also notice that 28% of the population on this slide are over the age of 60, and only 18% are under the age of 20. The effect of this ageing population can clearly be seen in the school numbers. Allanton Primary School is running at approximately 57% capacity, with 85 pupils. Although the school has a planning capacity of 150. The other impact of the community becoming, or starting to become, unsustainable is when we look at the dam side inn and the miners' welfare having to cut back to part-time only. We have to be careful that the fall in the population does not affect the other small retailers in the village, such as the Spar shop and the Chinese takeaway. We hope this site is one of a few that could possibly come in the near future, which would help with the long-term sustainability of the village, and it would also help to retain the primary school by increasing its numbers. So now you may understand why we wanted to locate this development in Allanton. Small villages have been forgotten about for a long time in central Scotland, with most of the house building going towards the larger towns and towards Glasgow and Edinburgh. The viability of small villages depends on sustainable growth, and at the moment villages like Allanton do not have the sustainable growth required to keep them prosperous. So that gets us on to the question, why this location within Allanton? Allanton is not the easiest place to find sites that are not either at risk due to mining or at risk due to flooding. So before we even look at approaching landowners, etc., we have to look at these and find sites that it would be possible to build on. So before we even start thinking about how many houses, etc., we want to put on a piece of land, we have to look, especially in this area, to make sure there is no mine entrances on or near to the land where we wish to build. Then we have to look at shallow mining. We'll see the risk areas and the hatchings in the middle map. The bottom map is SEPA's flood risk map. And a lot of people think because we want to build near a river that is susceptible to flooding. However, this site is not susceptible to flooding, as can be seen by the SEPA map, and a lot of that is to do with the further up at the Bruns. For those people that are local, there's a natural flood area, so the water floods there before it floods anywhere else, so this area is not susceptible to flooding. To help combat climate change, the Scottish Government likes new development to be near sustainable transport routes. This was another reason for choosing this location, as the following slides will go on to show. Our development is 0.7 of a mile from Hartwood rail station. This is a sustainable and green transport link to both Glasgow and Edinburgh. 0.7 of a mile is within a 1 mile, which means that we can look at it as being within walking distance of the site. The development will be within 120 metres of the nearest bus stop. There's on average 16 buses per hour, 8 in each direction. And then on top of that we have the Turbothy bus, which I think operates once every 2 hours. And at night we have the Ravenscraig and Hartwell Services bus. So it ticks a box for being within walking distance of a sustainable bus route. Allanton Primary School is 0.7 mile from the proposed housing development. This takes it to within walking distance for adults and for children. Therefore, a car is not required to take children to school. The housing development is also ideally located for North Lanarkshire's core path networks. Mill Road is part of Core Path 266, which leads down by the bog, as it's known locally, and it leads on to Core Path 263. Core Path 263 leads from Shotts down Rose Hall Road and up Old Mill Road, just to Allanton Road at the end of the dual carriageway. And just across the road from that we have Core Path 301, which leads up to Davisdyke Farm, etc. And then the old Kings Hill mine is Core Path 300, which is like a nature walk trail. So all these are within a couple of 100 metres of the site. Now let's have a look at what we're proposing to build on the site. This is an indicative layout of the site. It may not look 100% like this because we still have to enter into negotiations with North Lanarkshire planners, who may ask us to change parts of the site if they find the site to be acceptable. On the site we are planning to build 22 social and affordable homes and 43 homes for private sale. On the screen you should see the type of houses we have planned. The play area will be located to the west of the site. This will be overlooked by properties for the safety of the children. The site shall have two entrances. The main entrance will facilitate both vehicle carriageway and pedestrian traffic. However, to the north of the site we will also have a pedestrian and cycle pathway leading onto Mill Road. There will only be one entrance into the site, as I said earlier, and the site has no through road to anywhere, so this increases public safety within the site, and the roads and pathways shall be of shared surface, and there is no straight parts of road for anyone to build up any excessive speed. I would like to thank you again for taking the time to come and watch this presentation. We welcome any comments or suggestions, and on screen now you should see phone number to phone, an email to email, and a postal address if you want to write. You have 21 days from today to submit any comments or suggestions. Thank you.